Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 179 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor. We don't have Damon at the moment. He's got some family responsibilities, and it's also Father's Day today, so we scheduled poorly this week. Yeah, happy Father's Day. Obviously, if you're listening to this, it's not Father's Day anymore, but while we're recording this, it is Father's Day, so... so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I guess some of the questions we have are all relating to Disney dads. So yeah, here's our Father's Day episode, I guess.
I like that. I like that it's themed. I think it's kind of nice that it's got a theme to it. We didn't get a lot of questions this week, and almost all of them are from Dan. So that's kind of funny. I actually, and I think one of these actually we need to get rid of because I think I feel like we've answered this Epic Universe question before, but anyway. But yeah, no, we hopefully we'll have Damon at some point here. I think you might just be running late with some sports stuffs with the kids. So, and you'll have to excuse me because I know I sound more nasally than usual. I typically sound nasally. I feel like maybe that's just me not liking the sound of my own voice, but I do have a bit of a cold, so I am gonna trudge through this. But I'm sorry if I'm a little too nasally for anybody listening to it right now.
It sounds fine from my end, but yeah.
That's because I'm too nasally already. That's what it is. It's just normal. I already sound like that, so it's just worse. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad it doesn't sound too bad then, Trevor. So anyway, do we want to get started with questions here?
Yeah, let's do it. So first question from Dan. It says, it's Father's Day, and I'm working all weekend and feeling grumpy. What are some great ways to ruin a dad's day at Disney World? And what are some ways to ruin a kid's day at Disney World?
Wow. I mean, that's an interesting question.
So,
go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So I guess let's start from approaching this because, we've both been in both of these positions. So I'll start with things as a dad that have ruined my day at Disney World. Let me try and approach this from as a dad, things that have ruined my day at Disney. Probably. Sorry, I'm trying to think of an example, honestly, because even when we're at Disney, like things happen, but it's never been enough that I've been. Actually, oh no, I got it. Okay, I got it. Getting sick. That's actually the only thing that's ruined my day at Disney is that I've had 1 or 2 days where I've woke up and I've just felt awful, and this happened like 3 or 4 years ago. My wife and my son went off to the park without me. That was the worst thing ever for me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No,
what about you?
I don't disagree with that. But I'm also like, it would take a lot to ruin my day, right? Because like I'm on vacation and I'm going to enjoy myself, even if it's like really busy and hot, and I'm going to enjoy myself regardless. It takes a lot to ruin my day. I think it would actually probably ruin my day if my kid didn't have a good time. Like if my kid was not, or not being like, grateful for the trip, or like, we have to, go to the side and have the talk, that the parent kid talk. But again, though, I haven't had that many experiences with this, right? Like, because my daughter's still so young. So, we really haven't had that happen too much. Maybe on this next trip, there'll be more of that. But, I think it's funny because what are some way to ruin a kid's day at Disney World? I've said this before, and I've seen, a kid complaining, and it's like, I'm sorry, you're at Disney World and you have a Mickey bar in your hand. Like, you're not allowed to complain. Like, it's just, there's no complaining. There's no ruin to your day. You're eating a Mickey bar. You're at Disney World. You shouldn't be, there should be no ruining of your day.
Yeah. And it's funny. I know you say that, but I think back to when I was a kid, and there was like maybe 1 or 2 moments where it didn't ruin my day, but I was with my family, and we had, the problem we had is that, there was 3 kids. So, getting consensus on things didn't always work out,
That's the challenge.
it became a majority vote thing. And there was times where like I would want to go on Space Mountain, and my sister and my brother were like, no, we're not, I don't want to do that. And so then as a kid, I'm pouting because, I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and the family goes the other way. So, but again, it doesn't ruin my day. You kind of forget it like 5 minutes later and move on. Right. But,
yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, kind of to your point though, I can't think, even for myself growing up and, my son, we've never had to have the talk either.
You never had to pull aside to like a little alcove and like, and have the talk.
No, actually he's
good.
The thing is he knows, like, I think, we kind of, I guess we haven't had the talk in the parks. We've had the talk before the trip and basically like, like, but it's been like, he's been doing something at school or whatever. And it's like, lose the attitude, or, this Disney trip is not going to be one that you'll enjoy. Like it's, it's not like, I don't want to say they're empty threats, but it's like,
you're not going to cancel the trip, right? Like you're not going to be like, behave or the Disney trip's canceled. You're not canceling it, right?
Yeah, but it's things like, we'll go back to the hotel room and sit in the hotel room if you're going to, behave like that on the trip, right?
Yeah.
And so I think he knows well enough ahead of time that, when he gets there, it's, hey, you're in Disney, and, even the worst thing at Disney is never like, it's still better than any other day. So
I think I feel like I need to look at this question from like a kid's perspective, right? So like, not from my perspective, what would ruin a kid's day. As a kid, what would ruin the day? And so if I'm looking at that, I go back to the story I've told on the show before of my sister walking through Tomorrowland as a child, holding a cookie in her hand and a bird swooping down and taking it from her hand and flying away. That's a day ruiner for a kid. I feel like that's, I feel like that ruined her whole trip, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also like, there's also this picture that my parents have of me, and I don't know where it is. It's, somewhere, but, of me standing in front of the jumping fountains at Epcot as a small child, and the jumping fountain misfiring and landing short and landing on top of my head. And me as being a small child being very upset about this. So,
right. Yeah. Which, so did that ruin your day though?
I mean, I don't remember. I was probably like 4 or 5, Okay. I have no idea.
I guess my thing is that, I keep thinking about, there's nothing that's happened to me that it's like even if that happened, it's like, okay, yeah, got wet by the fountain. It doesn't ruin my day. Like, you're upset about for about 5 seconds, and then you usually end up laughing about it, and then going on with your day. Right.
But that's what I'm saying. From a kid's perspective, that could ruin your day. Right. So,
yeah.
Or like even dropping like my Mickey ice cream or something, that could ruin my day. So it looks like Damon has joined us. Damon,
I'm here. I don't even know what you're talking about. I have to bring up my little cheat sheet list. So we're Father's Daying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're doing, what are some great ways to ruin a dad's day at Disney World, and what are some ways to ruin a kid's day at Disney World? That's what we're doing. This is a Dan question.
This is a Dan question.
Classic Dan question.
Okay. I have no input.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Moving on then.
Do you want to do Francisco's question?
Yeah. Francisco says, does anyone else like to brag with friends and family who are interested in DVC on how you purchased when the cost was lower than now? Feels like you have insider trading info from back then.
No.
Yeah, I guess
I don't.
I've had this conversation actually with coworkers, because I've had coworkers ask me about it, and it's funny because I have explained to them, they're like, oh, I'm interested in this, and I'm like, well, you can get into it, but it's more expensive now than it was when I bought, and they go from interested to kind of and the conversation doesn't. They still listen, but you can tell that they're kind of put off at that point because it's not what they thought it was.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I still do the thing from time to time where, I'll talk to, be talking to someone, be like, hey, go look at how much it costs to stay at the Poly for a night. It starts at like $800 a night. And it's like, I don't pay that for my room.
I don't pay anywhere near that for my room. Yeah. It's funny because I was just having the same conversation with a family member and, talking about my trip coming up in October. And they're Disney people and they go to Disney. So they know, how much things cost. And they were like, oh, well, how long are you staying and what are you doing? I'm like, oh, we're there for like 12 days and we're staying at this 2-bedroom and an Animal Kingdom. And they were like, oh my God, well, like how much does that cost? And I'm like, well, I mean, it's already paid for. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I was trying to, I was like, yeah, it's like, I'm not paying cash for it. Like it's already paid for. But if I did pay cash for it, it would have been a lot. I mean, I can tell you that, like, so
I wouldn't be staying there.
Yeah, exactly. I would not be staying there. Exactly. So, it's funny. But I wouldn't do that. I mean, I only purchased like 10 years ago. Right. So like, it was lower then, but it wasn't as low as like some of the people that got in like at the very beginning. Right.
True. But even from 10 years ago till now, like I think the last 3 or 4 years, it's shot up substantially.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that covers that question. So,
all right.
Dan wants to know who are our favorite Disney dads.
So, okay, Disney dads, like in terms of in like the movies or
yeah,
I guess
like
I guess it could cover
right?
anything, characters or shows or
yeah. I was thinking like Mr. Incredible or
okay.
Does Darth Vader count?
Technically, he's a Disney dad.
He is, right? So that counts. I think it counts. I'm trying to think it. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't pick that. I'm just saying, like, he should count.
Yeah, I'm trying to think across all the shows that have prominent dad figures in them.
Well, it's hard because one of the hallmarks of Disney movies is losing of the parents, right? So
the parents usually aren't there. Yeah,
the parents usually have died on screen or off screen. So
yeah, Frozen's. Well, yeah, I guess you see the dad in Frozen for like the first little bit.
I don't even think he talks in the first one. Like, I don't even think he like says anything in the first one. In the second one, he talks a little bit.
He does. He talks to Elsa at the beginning.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. He's like 2 lines. He has like 2 lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's why I go with Mr. Incredible. I feel like that's a good choice here.
Yeah, I think you're right because he's a main character and he's also the dad in the show. That's kind of the obvious one. I'm thinking it's like recent movies. I'm looking at Moana. It's like, well, yeah, the dad's in Moana, but he's not.
He's barely in it. Yeah,
he's not in it. Same thing with Encanto. Is Mirabel's dad is. He's not there a lot. Actually, you know what? To be fair, in Encanto, Mirabel's dad absolutely has her back because he actually does defend her against Abuela. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like the dad in Encanto, and I'm trying to think of the rest of them. It's like King Triton. He's not.
I mean, he does sacrifice himself for his daughter, right? So
yeah, but he's kind of a jerk at the beginning.
He is a bit of a jerk. Yeah, he's a bit of a jerk. I mean, Belle's father, I guess, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Belle's father's pretty solid. He's a good dad.
He's a little kooky. Damon is writing the show as we're talking here, which is pretty funny to watch. David's just adding to our rundown of adding some topics here.
I didn't have time to like get all set up and stuff, so I'm playing catch up a little bit.
All right,
good. We'll keep going with the listener questions.
I mean, when there's a listener question that actually interests me, I'll be sure to chime in.
Well, so then we'll go through the rest of these, and then you can start talking.
Dan was already sad that he had to work all weekend, and now you're telling him his questions are bad. He's going to be really sad.
Okay.
All right, Dan. He's going to be bummed.
I don't think he is.
Yeah,
I mean, this one's. I mean, I can't even answer this next one. I still got more stuff to do over here before.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Do you want to? What is Lynn's comment? We don't even need to answer this next one.
Why you don't want to answer it now?
I'm not that interested. So he's asking if Disney would hosted a championship boxing match. Would that be something you'd be interested in? No, I'm not really interested. Yeah. No.
So there you go. So Lynn made she said she made a sentimental comment, but she was thinking this morning about, and said this morning, you see, so Tom it was too late for Tom. Normally you don't,
it gets finalized the night before the show. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this one was a good one though, because it's a little Father's Day ish. So I feel like it kind of makes sense. Did you guys start out with like a Father's Day to Happy Father's Day to everyone?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. So she was thinking this morning about how much everyone talks about how great Disney is with littles. I have 2 teen boys, 17 and 15, and I might appreciate it even more now than when they were little. I have amazing memories of our first visits, but it gets harder to connect as they get older and have jobs and school activities, and naturally want to spend more time with their friends. Our trips to Orlando are different now as they've grown, but still fantastic family bonding time that I hope will continue as they get older, and we hopefully continue to travel with their families. They both still love our trips to Disney, although they may include a stop to our Universal to get some more thrill rides. This one I don't get this next line, but many Disney changes annoy me a lot. But this is why we own DVC and why we continue to vacation in Orlando and Disney in particular. I don't understand. So like, they annoy you, but okay, I'm just going to let that one go. Not sure if there's anything there for you to discuss, but it made me think of Damon and who I know has similar age kids. And then thank you for the podcast. Wish everyone a happy Father's Day. And I think this is great, especially on Father's Day, to kind of think a little bit more that, it's, people that always say, hey, I just go to Disney because my kids are this age, and they don't buy into DVC because they don't see this benefit of, older kids going. Honestly, it's a very big missed opportunity. One of my son's swim coaches, and again, they have a house down there in Jupiter, I guess. So they're season pass holders to Disney, and they go to Universal all the time. And kind of what she said to me, she goes, hey, if you continue to pay, they'll continue to come. And I think that's a little bit about what you're dealing with DVC is that, if you continue to have points, then they'll continue to come. And even if you think there's going to be this gap in between when they kind of do their thing versus when they have their own family, that gap time, again, is so much smaller than you think. They always say, oh, you blink your eye and your kids are grown up. It's true. And if you think that went fast, I think the space between, them being old enough to be self-sufficient and, again, them having a family is probably even smaller. And then things change when they have a family because, you're not that most important situation anymore. But that all being said, I think this makes a lot of sense. And I would agree with this a lot. Like, my kids have never been like, oh, we're going on vacation, really? Like, I have other stuff to do outside a few small vacations that's just totally conflicted with sports goals for them, right? I would say that, when my son was trying out for varsity high school, he was like, I can't miss camp. Cool. You can miss those vacations, right? Like, if that's what makes it better for you. But it does get harder to kind of talk to them. For me, so my oldest actually isn't even here for Father's Day. And again, I thought this was like just some good parenting on my part. He had came to me, we had this soccer tournament with him on Saturday, and then he said something to me later in the day. He's like, hey, are we doing anything Monday? And I was like, why? He's like, well, his girlfriend was going down to the beach with her family, and he was like, he wanted to drive down there on Monday and say, stay with them for the day. And I said, well, when are they leaving? He goes, well, tomorrow. I said, look, we spent all day together and it was great. Like, I had such a great time with him and his friends, and we literally were, 8 to 4 o'clock, phenomenal time. I said, you can go. Like, that's okay. Like, it's all right. I appreciate you asking, but that's fine. Like, go with them tomorrow. Like, I had such a great time with you on Saturday that if you're not here for Father's Day, that's okay. That was more important. And it's kind of like that with Disney. Like, you may have them at home and you may, spend time with them, but they're more relaxed away from home, and they're more willing to kind of chat with you about things that they might not chat with you about at home when they're on vacation. It seems crazy, but it's true, right? There's a different bonding that happens when you're kind of away from your house with your older kids. And I think that you just can't, it's such a big deal, and it makes such a big reason to say, hey, maybe DVC is going to be a little bit longer than I thought. And then again, you get into where they have families of their own, and then their kids are going to want to go. So DVC is not just for, and Disney in general, just not for the little kids. Those teenage kids will go. And I think this will end up being the first time, is my guess, this will be the first time where I'll let them just go. Hey, you want to go do your thing? Go ahead. So they're 18 and 16. Hey man, go do your thing. Go, you want to go to the parks by yourself at night. Now they'll spend time with us, but giving them a little bit more of their free time. And I think that's what keeps them around and coming back. Like, there definitely is that difference when they get older. You have to give them, well, you don't have to, but for me, I'm going to give them a little bit more of their freedom, but they'll still keep coming back. And again, I think it was nice to see somebody else kind of understand that, that's kind of what you're looking at.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I feel you on that, Damon, because I actually think back to when I was a teenager and my parents took us to Disney. And, even for as much as I was a teenager and, didn't want to be around my parents, being at that age, it was, it was all about my friends and everything. As soon as that trip was on the table, that was a priority. That it was like, sorry guys, we didn't, I didn't have any extracurricular stuff that interrupted me from doing that. So it was like, yeah, I'm on this trip, and it was all about the family for that trip. And it's funny that you say that, I didn't really think about it that way, but when we did that trip with my parents, that was the last big family trip, and they gave us our space. We went off and did our own thing a couple of times, but I think they realized that, that was still just as valuable, because of the fact that at that age we were still willing to go on a family trip, and we weren't completely writing them off. And I mean, since then, we've gone with my parents to Disneyland and Disney World with my son. So yeah, you're right. It does all come back around eventually.
Yeah, and I think that's, again, from the DVC standpoint, people need to just understand that that's the case. I have a friend who never bought in because he's like, well, I'm not going to go once my kids get older. And listen, there's the Turks and Caicos crowd. There is, right? There's that crowd that's what they're going to do instead. And, maybe they don't buy into DVC because that's what they're going to do. But I think it's a little bit short-sighted to think that you're just not going to go back to Disney just because your kids get older sometimes. And, it doesn't matter when you buy into DVC, it's always going to be cheaper. Well, not again, we would venture a guess it's always going to be cheaper than 10 years later, right?
Yeah. It's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I would assume that. Yeah. I mean,
right.
To your point though, David, my most memorable trip was from when I was a teenager with my family, and so to your point, that's the trip that I remember the most, and one of the best trips I've ever had. So, yeah, I totally agree with everything you said, Damon. So, yeah, I thought it was a nice comment. So the next thing was on my list of Damon breaks up the show here. Yep. So I spoke to Allison on the phone about Hilton Head. So on the phone. Oh yes,
I'm only doing Hilton Head information on the phone going forward. That's it.
Wow.
End of story.
Right.
I will answer no more Hilton Head questions unless they involve phone calls, because it's just more fun. 2, I just like keeping my information part of a secret club. Right. I like keeping a part of a secret club. So that's going forward. But I had a great conversation with her, probably about 30 minutes or so, maybe, right in that area, just kind of about Hilton Head, kind of, what there is to do, where there's to eat, and kind of, how it differs from what your regular Disney experience feels like. Right. And it's a different scenario. And she had a lot of fun, great questions that, again, I think some of them that she probably would not have wanted to ask via the group. Right. Because everyone's got their own family things going on. And it was a fun conversation. So I will, going forward, I will be taking phone calls for Hilton Head information.
I feel like we need to set up like a hotline.
A hotline?
Like,
That would
yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
I need a
set
hotline.
up the Damon Hilton Head advice hotline.
Yeah. I mean, so we'll probably be back down there in December is my guess. I don't think we'll make it back down for this. Their house is finished down there, but I don't think we'll make it down just because the summer's just kind of busy, especially with that Disney trip now.
Sorry, I was just thinking to myself what the phone number could be as 1-800-ASK Damon, but that's too many numbers. But you could just have it go one over. That's all. But that's cool that you talked to somebody on the phone about it, though. I didn't even know you were doing that. I don't think you told us you were doing that. So
no, I said on the group I was doing that though. I was like, I'm only answering this via the phone.
All right.
So there.
Yeah.
And let's see. So the other thing is I didn't get to talk about too much. So I had like a little bit of an epiphany on this Dollywood trip that we're doing over 4th of July. So I was looking in North Carolina. I've been on this mini golf thing ever since the Muppets are on Holy Moly, right? Like we watch Holy Moly anyway because it's hysterical. But I was like, this summer it would be kind of cool to play mini golf in North Carolina. And I said, where's the best mini golf in North Carolina? So, I started looking it up and I'm like, I don't like Myrtle Beach. So I got to just totally just take that all off the map.
I was going to say usually a beach areas, right?
But I just don't like Myrtle Beach. So, and I've never been there, but I just don't like what it stands for. So I can't go there. So I don't want to go there. So I said, all right. So I started looking and I said, well, there's probably nothing really good. I said, so what's the best in the US? That was my next step. And, Travel Channel, which I respect Travel Channel. So I was like, there's one in Dollywood. It just opened up. It's like it's a candy shop / candy mini golf. Okay. So like I was immediately hooked.
Sounds kind of great. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds kind of great. And what's kind of neat, what they do is they make this like you can spin a wheel at the end to get your score down. There's also this thing where they make special things. You have to like putt one-footed on this hole, or like it's like kind of like all different things that might happen that you have to do for that hole. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what if we had a trophy and it was a family vacation trophy? So what else can we do like down there in terms of mini golf? Well, there's a lot of mini golf in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. So we're going to be hitting at least 4 courses. There will be a trophy involved. Wow. For our Dollywood trip. And then I think the other thing that we're going to do, and I'm not going to tell my daughter about it yet, is I think we're going to do an escape room. I think that she would just love it. I think that I have no interest in escape rooms because I think they're kind of dumb, but I think she would enjoy it. So there's some pretty cool ones in Pigeon Forge. Like Pigeon Forge has so much to do outside of Dollywood, and I love Dollywood, but it's like kind of one of those trips where you go to Disney and you don't do the parks. This is kind of like what I'm doing here. Like we're going to do zip lining, even though I don't like the fact that Dollywood doesn't have theirs because that one was awesome. So zip lining over rides is just awesome. There's nothing to say. It's awesome. You're zip lining over the top of roller coasters. Like that's just a win. But there are a lot of other good zip lines. So we do zip line. We're doing the Lumberjack Adventures, whatever that's going to be like. That will be interesting. And then just hitting up 4 mini golfs. Hillbilly, always top-notch mini golf. Got to do that one. Crave, which is this.
I just Googled this place. Yeah, this candy.
Yeah, it looks awesome, right? And then there's another one that they own called Toy Box, which is just old toys. Definitely doing that one. And then the 4th one is going to be whoever is in last place will be able to pick the 4th one.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing.
There's some really good mini golf like right outside the parks too in Orlando too. Like I think the best one I've ever been to was in Orlando.
I didn't realize like where, again, this is Travel Channel's list, but like I didn't realize like there's the one in Philadelphia that has all the monuments. Like that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And then there's one in Branson that I'm like totally upset that I didn't know about when we were there. It's some sort of Hollywood thing. It's kind of like Rock and Roller Coaster, right? Like you're going to try to like get your star on the Hollywood, Walk of Fame, and there's like all these photo opportunities. That one looked pretty darn awesome. So we'll be doing this in Dollywood. I'll be able to report back on Dollywood mini golf when we get back.
Oh man, they have miniature bowling too.
I did see that. That doesn't excite me though. Like,
Oh, really? See, like maybe it's just a weird like nostalgia thing for me because when I was a kid, I always used to go to this roller rink that would have like the and I don't know if you know this one, but it had like the really small balls and then like the pins were all on strings, and you would like I forget exactly what it was called, but it had a name, but it seems similar to this.
okay.
But yeah, no, I always used to play that when I was a kid, and it was always like a big thing. But yeah, that looks cool though, man.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. It will be an interesting trip. It's going to be expensive though, because you kind of have to remember, like 5 people mini golf. I mean, that's probably a bill every time we go.
Yeah, it's going to be pricey.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
But
you got to do some in Orlando
park,
proper too. You got to. I mean, there's some of those Orlando ones.
I don't know if they made the list though.
Really?
If they don't make the Travel Channel list, I'm not about it. I have to look now what else was on there. But I think there wasn't one in Florida, but it was not in Orlando.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I want to say it was Palm Springs or something. I don't know.
I remember
13 best across the country. All right, here we go. So I have this list, and again, I think, dude, it's so much better on the phone when you can just view the gallery. Like, why are you going to make me click through? Oh my goodness, Illinois, Lake George. I didn't know had one. So the Shoot for the Stars mini golf is the one in Branson, and dude, it just looks fire. There's another one in Missouri. Here's the one I'm going to go to. The Fringe is one in Roswell, Georgia, which, obviously alien-ish Area 51 kind of thing, which is cool. Duffers in Wildwood. I don't think I've ever been to Wildwood, though.
Oh, really?
No. Like, again, we didn't really do the Jersey Shore that much. The only reason that we ever went there is I lived down there for a summer in Manasquan, like totally against my will. But it was my wife she's a big, down the shore Jersey person.
Yeah.
And she used to work down there, and she worked in Manasquan for a summer. And she was like, oh, let's, this is when we first started dating. I think, so we started dating in, November, and this was the summer after that, right? So like you're not fully cemented in this relationship yet. Oh, let's, and one of my friends, who was the one that introduced us, was like, hey, we're getting a shore house. Why don't you come? And I'm just like, sure. Oh, terrible, because I hate the shore, and there's no air conditioning. You're only like hitting fans, those shore places in Manasquan. But anyway,
yeah.
I'd never been to Wildwood. And then honestly, Winter Summerland made this list. Which I do love the theming. I do love the theming, but it's not really mini golf. It's a themed walkthrough where your hole magically goes in the ball. I mean, your ball magically goes in the hole.
I like your way of saying it better.
Yeah, like it's not real mini golf. There's a coal country one that looks pretty cool, and then
wait, is that one?
The coal country one,
West Virginia. It in West Virginia? Because I've been there. I've played there many times.
Oh, you have?
Yes, I have. It is very, very cool. And actually, it's funny because I was just.
What were you in West Virginia for? In Fairfield?
I went to school in West Virginia.
Wait, where'd you go?
I went to WVU. I went to West Virginia.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
My son's looking there to swim.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, it's a great school. We used to go every summer. I was an RA, and we would go before we would do like a team building thing, and we would go to this to coal country, and it's awesome, dude. It's like it's the mini golf course is basically built out of all like old coal mine equipment.
It looks
super cool. It is. It's really, really cool.
So the next one is some conservation course, is the one in West Palm Beach, Florida. But that's the last one on the list. But it totally is like, looks like I'm getting gaitored there. Because you know what I'm saying? Like it's a conservation area, and it just totally looks like I'm getting gaitored. So I couldn't see that. I'm looking at your list that you sent from Orlando.
Yeah. That's a Disney though. Yeah, that's a Disney. I played that one too. That one is hard.
Why haven't I played this one? Where is it?
It's by the Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah, it's right by Swan and Dolphin. It's a really good one, man. It's hard.
I played it too. How is it that Tom and I have played a mini golf course and Damon hasn't?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Like I feel like maybe whatever hole this is, I feel like I definitely have played this, but whatever hole they're showing, like I don't remember it being that bright.
Yeah, this one is cool too because it has the other one, Winter Summerland, is like this too, but like there's a lot of cool effects that happen. Like there's it's a cool mini golf course, man. I didn't actually get to finish it because the storm rolled in. We were like on the 16th hole, and it was like our last day there, and we had to go. But like a storm rolled in, and we had to bail. So I
had to play this because this one has been there way before the other two, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know when this course was built.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
don't
feel
know.
like though this one might have been before the other ones. I definitely have played this. I don't remember this hole, and I
Well,
really don't.
This one opened in '96.
Yeah, I definitely played this one, but I don't remember this hole. Maybe it was updated, and I just don't really remember playing. But I remember being across from Swan and Dolphin with a putter in my hand, so that had to be it. But I just don't remember playing this.
Yeah, so Fantasia opened in '96. Winter Summerland opened in '99. So
Yeah, I think so. All right, so I'm looking at your list. Congo River Golf.
Pirate Scope place looks pretty cool, man. It's a full-on pirate ship. Like,
yeah, but the one at Hilton Head is pretty darn cool too. So This, to me, I kind of just feel like that's the same kind of jam. And then this last one looks Hollywood Drive-In Golf.
It looks nuts.
That looks kind of cool.
It does, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, where is this one? It's in Universal City Walk?
Yeah.
See, you know what the problem with this is that when I'm in Universal, I usually never have any downtime. Like I usually have more downtime at Disney.
Sure.
Than I do at Universal because just the way that we DVC number one and just kind of the way that we do the trips. So while this one looks extremely cool, I can't imagine that I'm taking this over being in the parks.
I get that. Yeah.
It does look nice, but they still don't look as good as Crave because it's got a candy place on it, man.
Got a candy place.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely eating candy after that.
Damon, I one of these, I think it's, what is this? Congo River Golf. That's a chain.
Okay.
And I actually, they actually say this in the description. They do live gator feeding, but they also do a thing where you can pay and you can hold a baby gator. And my wife did this a couple years ago. So I have a picture of her holding a baby gator. So, you're always talking about getting gatored.
I mean, I would hold a baby gator. Like, that's fine because
its mouth is like taped closed and stuff, right? So, like, it can't get you or anything,
Oh, well, then that's not even fun then.
Oh, would you want a challenge? You want to, like, avoid...
I mean, if I'm going to hold a baby gator, like, at least let it be free and wild. Let's see what happens. But, yeah. I mean, I don't think you're going to get Skywalkered by it. Like, it's a baby gator, right?
I like that you
lose
just
a
made
tip
a
of a
bird
finger, but...
Yeah.
I
mean,
they're pretty small, too. Like, I mean, they're really very much baby gator. They're very small, so... So anyway, that was our mini golf segment. I'm up to talk about mini golf anytime. I love mini golf. So
and here's the thing, like I felt like I used to be really good at mini golf, but I didn't think it was just because everyone else was like really bad in my family, right? So I'd be like smacking everyone all the time, and then like out of the blue, I think like maybe like when she says she's going to the food store, she's like out catching, the putting green somewhere because she has just been slapping us at mini golf like the last 4 or 5 times. Yes, like the last 4 or 5 times. And no one can do anything about it. Usually this is what happens. We kind of roll in like cool dude style, like, oh yeah, I'm not really playing well, but so what, right? And then all of a sudden we'll look down at the card or like, here's the other thing. I'm not gonna go as far as to say what I'm thinking, but she's the one that keeps score. But that all being said, all of a sudden, accusations. No, I'm sure she doesn't. But at hole 8, we're kind of like, hey, what's the score? And she'll be like, oh, I'm leading by 8, and we'll be like, wait, what?
Like how?
And then, well, she probably is, right? So because we probably had a hole where like we all got pissed off, and then we shoot a 6, right? Like, she like got a hole in one on it, and we're like, oh man. But, right, because that's what will happen sometimes. Like, if somebody gets a hole in one, like then you feel like you got to at least try to match that. Anyway, and then like I'll be like, okay, now I actually have to play, and I'll try to play catch up, and then I always lose by like 1 or 2 right at the end because I just can't overcome the deficit, the hole that I've dug for myself at mini golf.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah, this will be an interesting trip. I said it's definitely going to be 4, so 4 rounds of mini golf at these different places. So we'll see.
So wait, are you going to keep like a run? So you're going to have a trust? Is it going to be like a running score? Like how?
So that was asked immediately by my wife right up front, right? Because she was "Oh, we're doing this? Okay." So how? I said we have 5.5 hours in the car to figure it out. We don't need to talk about it now. So I don't know the answer to that. I think what I'm leaning towards is. Per location. And then if for some reason there's a 4-way tie, everyone is 1-1, let's just say it comes down to something like that, we will then go and play a winner take all one if we have to.
Okay.
Yeah, with if like so if you're so there's 5 of us, so if we play 4 and everyone's gotten 1 except one person, then they just don't play because that's how it is. You can keep score, but you don't play. Or if you play, it doesn't count. We might do something along those lines. Or a running tab. Running tab, though, I feel like if you just have a bad morning and kind of like drop a couple holes, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's
Right.
I mean, it's not a good way to do it, right? Like,
No. I mean, the best way to do it would be you play these 4 and then you have a 1-hole putt off. But like, I don't think any place is going to let you do that. So that's the problem.
do a 1-hole putt off.
Yeah, like the distractor on Holy Moly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
All right. Well, that's interesting. I'm excited for you. I'm kind of jealous. I would love to do a mini golf tour.
yeah,
Sounds
let's see
like
how
fun.
it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, Damon? Any other random stuff you want to talk about?
Paranormal Park is really good.
What is that?
Netflix.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really good. So if you like Gravity Falls, it's a scarier Gravity Falls, but not at the same level. Like, let me just make sure I pull it back big time. It's not at the same level, but it's definitely scarier and really, really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll have to check that out.
Yep.
So, sorry, Dead End Paranormal Park? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's good.
All right. Can we talk about this ridiculous Adventures by Disney thing?
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds awesome.
I
It
was
does,
waiting
right?
for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for this, right? So essentially Adventures by Disney announced a Disney Parks Around the World private jet adventure. And they're only allowing this for 75 people, which I feel like this is going to be, I mean, it's expensive, right? But I guarantee there's more than 75 people that would pay for this.
But
that have
the question is it 109 per person?
Oh, it's per person. I had the same question, Damon.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically what this is, it's a 24-day trip, covers 6 countries, and includes all 12 Disney parks, right? So you're going to all 12 Disney parks on a private jet. Also includes Taj Mahal, Pyramids of Giza, and the Eiffel Tower. And includes, of course, all your accommodations. You also
And your
get
tickets?
Yeah, I think it includes all that. Yeah, and all your food, too. All your food. You get to go to Summit Skywalker Ranch, and then you go on this VIP Boeing 757. And so it starts at $109,995.
It starts at, or that's just what it is?
It starts at.
So what can you add on?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I would assume there's extras for people that want to, get really crazy with it.
I guess. I mean,
there's somebody asking for add-ons. If at this level, somebody's going to want something that's beyond what they're already offering.
I mean, maybe though, is it dependent on when you go, like when the actual trip is? Is it like dependent on that?
Dependent on fuel costs? Like, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, this is a hell of a trip, though. You're 24 days you're gone for. Like, that's crazy.
See, I like the idea a lot, right? But I think the problem is, like, I could only fork out that much money if, like, I'm like EOL, right? Like, if that's what's happening, right? Like, so if I'm getting towards the end of my time on this planet, okay. Right?
Yeah. Bucket list, like bucket list, right? Yeah.
But the problem with that is that if I'm that old, it's probably not. I probably can't do it. Like, I probably just physically can't do it, and that's where this is such a tough thing, man. Like, I just couldn't do. I couldn't do it at that old of an age. Maybe it's like because like once you retire, like, are you really like, am I really dropping? And let's just say, right? So when I retire is going to be a long time from now. The price will probably be way changed, but the equivalent of like 600. I mean, that's just hitting my 401k kind of hard. Like,
that's a little rough, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little rough. Yeah, I mean, this is a trip of a lifetime, though. Okay, hold on. This is double occupancy pricing that is shown. So it's $109,090 for double occupancy. If you want to do it single, it adds another $11,000. Yeah. By the way, you can only do it, and you can only bring kids that are 14 or older too. Although it says recommended, I guess
So
I guess
does-
it's not
You
that
can't bring anyone up from 12 though. It says minimum is 12. So.
minimum is
Yeah.
12. Okay, yeah.
which that's like what 12 or 14-year-old are you bringing on like a 2-month-long trip around the world?
Oh, if you rich, you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is for a certain. What's that? Good.
Sorry, it's not 2 months. It's 24 days. Never mind.
It's 24 days. Yeah, it's a whole month though. I mean, it's got to be somebody that can either not.
I just can't imagine how tired I am. I mean, you think about it, you could do it in the summer, but still, like, I just can't imagine how tired I'd be. Like that, like whatever park I'm visiting last, like, bro, I'm mailing it in. Like, I'm definitely just mailing it in at that point. I feel like.
Well, you got to relax on your private jet. Like that's when you do your relaxing and recharging is all the flying, right?
Yeah, but it still doesn't matter.
Sleeping
like
on a plane, though. I mean, even if it's luxury, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'll give you guys what the itinerary is, right? So you leave from LA, right? So you're in Disneyland for the first day, and then day 2. You do a Walt Disney Studios tour, and like it says World of Color viewing. So I guess you're at Grand Californian. And then day 3 just says Anaheim. So I'm guessing again, more Disneyland. And then day 4, you go to San Francisco and do Walt Disney Family Museum tour, Lucasfilm campus tour, Summit Skywalker Ranch dinner and activities. That sounds cool. Again, same kind of thing. Day 5, then you go to Anchorage, and then I guess it says Oakland, Anchorage, Tokyo. I guess you have to stop in 3 places to get to Tokyo. I don't know. Kind of seems like what it's saying, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to Tokyo. You could do Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, or just explore. And then that's for a couple days. You do that, and then you go to Shanghai, and then you do Shanghai for a couple days, Hong Kong for a couple days. Man, you're just like all over the place. You go to Taj Mahal.
I'd make it as far as Tokyo, and I would be done.
I feel like this would be like really difficult. Like, I mean, how does this work with like jet lag, man? Like
yeah, like that's the thing is that you're traveling like just that trip from California to Tokyo. That time zone change is going to mess you up.
Yeah. It's going to mess you up pretty bad, right? Like, and then you're going to keep changing time zones every like 3 days, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd just always be tired. Man, but there's so many cool things on this. And basically you end at Disney World for 4 days, right? So, oh man, but this is something I've wanted though. You get to do a visit to the flavor lab where they test all the food. Oh man, I said this before. I want to do a tour of the flavor lab. I want to try I want to sit in there and try the food that they're doing and, and give my feedback on it. Like, how do they not do tours of that?
Because they don't want everybody's feedback on it.
But they should want it. I want them to give it to me. I mean, I want them to give me the opportunity to do it. So,
right.
So anyway, but yeah, so this is quite the trip, man. Like, this is for obviously a very select group of people. But I also do think that there will be more demand than 75 people. They're only doing this for 75 people. I kind of think that there's going to be more people than that want to do this that can afford this. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But definitely trip of a lifetime.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot more people that would want to do this, whether or not it's feasible for a lot of people. Like, because again, the problem is fine. It's $100,000 for 2 people. Let's say you've got a family of 4. Yeah, that's still a crazy amount of money for a trip. Like Damon said, that's bucket list. Like, but you're not, unless you're already somebody that has, millions of dollars. I don't see anybody else jumping at this kind of opportunity.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, truthfully though, if you look at it, like, you're getting all your food included, all of your accommodations included, all the travel included. Like, it's not that terrible of a deal, I feel like, for what you're actually doing, right?
Yes and no. I mean, yeah, you're right. Everything all included is great. I guess my big thing is the itinerary means that you feel like you have to take advantage. Like, you're not going to get any downtime. Like it's
yeah,
yeah,
because you're paying so much, you want to feel like you want to hustle, right? Like,
yeah, which, I mean, to me that almost doesn't seem worth it. because like I said, I know we've done the longest trip we've done at Disney was we did a 14-day trip once, and it was great, but we made sure that we had a couple of days in there where we just had like hotel days where we weren't doing anything. The problem is this is like, oh, we're going here, we're only here for 2 or 3 days, and then you're getting on a plane and going to the next place. And I mean, for me, travel is that would never be something that would be relaxing. So it would be like every day would be like even, yeah, you're supposed to be sleeping on the plane or whatever. About a week into it, I would be hitting a point where I would be like, I don't think my body would let me continue with it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think the time zones is what would mess me up the most, for sure. So, but like you said, there's not a lot of downtime, right? Like you would have to have your downtime basically being on the plane during the travel time.
Yeah.
Or like when you arrive somewhere, like before they had whatever structured activities they'd have, you'd have to relax that.
Sure. Yeah. And that, like, think about like, let's say you're landing in Tokyo at like, 10 o'clock at night or something. And it's supposed to be like, oh, go to bed and then wake up and go to Disney Sea the next day. Okay. But you've also, like you said, you traveled over multiple time zones. So you're getting there where it's like the middle of the day for you. So, you're not tired, but then you're supposed to be at Disney Sea the next day, but it's, your body is going like, hey, I should be sleeping right now. Like that's.
Yeah. It's almost like they need some break days in there. They need like a day or two of just like nothing to do, Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why they're giving it a couple of days, is they're planning there might be people, crash for a day or two and then go do parks and then and all that. But I think the way they've structured it, it looks like you like they've got like Tokyo, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. So you're kind of staying close enough in terms of time zones, and then they'll move over to like Disney Paris and stuff like that. It's really that you have those couple of big jumps, like where you're going across an ocean or whatever. Hopefully they've factored in that not everybody's going to be ready to go after traveling for for that kind of distance.
Oh yeah, I would hope so. I would think that they would have. So yeah. Anyway, I mean, this is a crazy thing. I mean that most of us can't afford here. So, but it would be cool to do for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and do our ad, and then we can do some of this other stuff. How's that sound?
Okay, this week we have Monera Financial. So Monera, a World of DVC company, is the industry leader for financing DVC resale contracts. Monera offers lending with the longest terms available at 12 years, the option of no credit check, instant approval, low down payments, and no prepayment penalties. If you're thinking of purchasing a DVC contract on the resale market, go check out their quick online quote first. You may be surprised just how affordable DVC can be. Go to monerafinancial.com or call 317-245-8800. When you speak to them, please be sure to let them know the Welcome Home sent you.
All right. So it looks like,
So I'm not looking at this thing that you linked for Tron Light Cycle, just letting you know.
I mean, listen, it's just the outside canopy. You don't even want to see that part?
Not really.
All right, fair enough. I mean, basically, they're just showing some testing of the canopy.
Mm-hmm.
So they finally started lighting it up. It's interesting because we still don't really know when this is going to open yet, right? So they're testing all this. I guess we just don't know how done the inside part is, right?
Yeah, as we go along here, like we're hitting June now. I was hoping it might have been open by November, but I
think it's still possible. I'm thinking
it won't be until early next year at this point. But
that's also possible.
Sorry, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to comment because me when because of the fact that this is something that I know I'm going to get a chance to experience firsthand. I don't want to. I don't want to
ruin it. I know.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. Even though I saw footage of it in Shanghai and everything, so like I know how the ride works and everything. I still kind of want to have it hit me in the face when I get there.
Totally get it. No, I totally get it. I'm betting that we're going to get an announcement of the opening date sometime soon here, probably in the next, I would say, month or two. That's
I hope
my
so.
guess, though. Yeah, that's just my guess.
Yeah, it seems like it's so close, right? Like there's so much. Like it seems like they're past like the big hurdles, like the testing and stuff like that. So I feel like the rest of it will come together pretty quick.
I would hope so. I mean, like I said, we just don't know what the inside looks like, right? So
yeah,
we don't know how far along they are on that, but. All right, so I mean that's all I got on that, but I mean it looks cool, and I know you don't want to look at it, so
yeah. Let's skip to this Lightyear stuff.
All right, so I don't really care about almost any of this except for the gauntlet at the end.
Yeah, I mean that looks like a remake of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
right?
it's 1,000%. They probably use the same mold and just pop the laser beam thing on top of it, but it just looks really cool.
Yeah. I have to say the cat plush looks kind of good, like because they have that what's its name, Socks, I think.
Yeah, I think
is the name of the cat.
Socks,
yeah
I have not seen the movie yet, by the way. I've not seen the movie, so I mean I'm behind on movies by a lot. So.
I have no interest in this movie. It should really never have existed.
It got all right reviews. I mean,
it just shouldn't have existed. Whether again, it got made or not is a little irrelevant. And then no Tim Allen. I hate everything about it. I refuse. And then this next item, a rumor item, just makes me angry in general.
Yeah, but
well, then let's talk about it.
But like, this is the flimsiest of rumors I think I've ever seen.
I hope so, because they're saying, what is it, Space Mountain?
This says Space Mountain at Disneyland will be replaced with Lightyear Mountain as part of Tomorrowland overhaul. But like, what they're doing here is they're saying, okay, well, there's a part in that Buzz Lightyear launches off from in the movie that kind of looks like Space Mountain, right? And because they're doing a Tomorrowland overhaul at Disneyland and not Disney World, that means Disneyland is going to get overhauled with this. Which, no, like I'm sorry, but it does look like it, yeah, sure, but I mean, it doesn't mean that means they're going to overhaul it, like. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I mean, maybe they're just doing an homage to it, like maybe they're just it's just a reference, it doesn't have to be that they're retheming it.
Yeah. I think people are grossly overestimating the popularity of Space Mountain versus the popularity of Buzz Lightyear. And especially, and yeah, to your point, Damon, this Lightyear movie doesn't look great. It's not, it's not high on my list of things to watch either, but, yeah, the fact that they did a call out to it in the movie doesn't justify that, they're going to do an overhaul of it. And again, like, how many people would be upset if they, just turn Space Mountain into another Buzz Lightyear ride? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think people would be happy, yeah.
Like, I mean, Toy Story is great and all, but it doesn't hit with everybody. And I don't feel Space Mountain needs that treatment. I mean, Space Mountain is perfectly fine the way that it is. And they can do lots of other things with it to upgrade it and bring it into more futuristic without slapping IP all over it.
Yeah. I just don't believe it as a rumor. It's just so flimsy to me. Like, they're connecting dots that are like not, to be connected. Like, it's just. And I mean, I don't even think that the building they're showing in Lightyear even looks that much like Space Mountain. It just looks like a dome. It just looks like a curved,
It has a loose look of Space Mountain, yes.
Yeah, but not
shape
like
there.
Yeah, it's the shape, but it's not like, I don't know. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, and I mean, this site, and I don't even want to mention the site, but they're saying this rumor seems somewhat confirmed by the clear presence of the structure in the film. I don't think it's a clear presence. Like, what are you talking about?
That's like, okay, this is exactly the same logic as 3 circles makes a hidden Mickey. That's exactly what they're doing here. Like, just because 3 circles happen to be close to one another does not mean it's a hidden Mickey, people.
I mean, listen, if they were going to theme it with an IP, I mean, Buzz Lightyear is not far off what I would think that they would do, right? I mean, it doesn't not make sense. Does that make sense? I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I don't think they're going to do it still.
Right. And like I said, I think the thing is that I don't think this movie is going to be as well received as as anybody thinks, it like I said, it doesn't look like an amazing movie. It doesn't look like it's going to hit the same way that like a Frozen or something like that's going to hit. So, banking on redoing an entire ride for an okay movie, like,
yeah.
I
mean, but it might not even be about the movie, right? It might just be about the character, right? Like a Buzz Lightyear, right? Like I don't know. Damon, go ahead. Sorry,
we already have a Buzz Lightyear ride, and
we do.
Fix that first before.
True.
Leave Space Mountain alone. Go fix the actual Buzz Lightyear ride.
Yeah, Damon, what were you going to say about this? You just like hate
nothing.
This idea?
I already said what I had to say about it. Like I'm not about Lightyear, so I'm just not about it.
I'm gonna watch it. I mean, at some point, but
I'm not.
I'm also like several movies behind Pixar wise, so I need to catch up on those, I guess.
Or just skip them and watch the ones that you want to watch, because that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, but then see, here's the thing though, like, I don't really have that much interest to watch like Soul, for example, right? But it's maybe it's because I don't really know that much about it, or you know what I mean? Because I heard it was really good, right? So like I like just to watch those movies and just maybe there was something that I didn't know that I was gonna like that I end up liking. I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess not every movie needs to necessarily hit with you either. Like,
no, that's true. That's true.
I have no interest in Soul. Luca was another one that my son watched it. He said it was okay, and I had no interest to sit down and watch it. So yeah, I guess I don't look at it as having a backlog. I look at it as there's movies that interest me, and this applies to like Star Wars and Marvel as well. Like I've stopped trying to keep up with it, because it's like, if there's a movie that I really want to watch, I'll watch it, but I don't need to watch every other movie in between either, like just for the sake of completionism or whatever you want to call it, keeping up with the universe. Like,
that being said, I watched the first episode of Miss Marvel. It was really good. So I'm behind one episode on that one, but I need to watch another one. But it was really, really good. So, and I'm pretty excited about the Doctor Strange movie coming out on Disney Plus this week. So, because I did not get to the theaters to see that and somehow avoided spoilers. So I'm excited to finally watch that. So anyway, I just don't, I know we're wrong sometimes on these things, but this one just feels so flimsy.
I don't think this holds any water whatsoever.
No, and I mean, listen, we're going to find out about this stuff in September, at D23, right? So they're going to have a parks panel, and they're going to announce some new stuff, and we're going to hear all about that, and that will happen. We'll find out then, but I don't know.
And I honestly think so again, just to poke more holes in this.
Yeah.
The launch pad in the Lightyear movie, it kind of looks like Space Mountain, but that does not line up with any other rendition that we've seen, like the overhaul for what they're doing in, was it Shanghai or I can't remember which park it is, but it doesn't, it looks a little more industrial and not as like that clean futuristic look, which I don't think they would want to do an industrial looking structure like that. Like if it just looked like a launch pad and, it doesn't fit with the whole idea of futurism, I guess. Like it's, it's futuristic and it's space travel, but I don't think what that movie portrays is what the vision is for the Tomorrowland overhaul.
Yeah, I agree, right? Like to your point, like unless they're just talking about doing the inside and doing nothing to the outside, that's possible. But if they were going to retheme it to the outside to what's in this movie, I just don't see it. Like I don't see
it would look
doing
awful.
This.
It would not look good.
Yeah, like it just doesn't make any sense, right? Like I don't know. And I haven't seen the movie, but so maybe it's under construction in the movie, like and it looks different once it's completed. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Just from the pictures that I saw here, like that they were trying to show the structure, and it's like, yeah, I get it. It kind of looks like Space Mountain, but I feel that would fall in the same, like they attempted a bad overhaul of Tomorrowland in Disneyland years ago, and it was not well received.
Yeah.
So, if they made to me, this would look like the exact same mistake. If they redid the outside of Space Mountain to look like that, it's exactly the same thing they did years ago that everyone said, what is this? This is not Tomorrowland. Like it looks like garbage, like with all the bronze, and it was more steampunk than Tomorrowland, which doesn't make sense.
Well, it's interesting though, because like just looking at this picture more, it looks like, it's under construction, right? So like maybe at some point it gets finished in the movie and then it looks more like Space Mountain, but the pictures shared in these articles don't look anything like it to me.
Yeah.
But it does look like, if you look at it, it looks like it's under construction, right? So like maybe once it's finished, I don't know. Maybe once it's done, then it looks more like it, but
yeah. Anyway, let's we could sit here and pick it apart for another 20 minutes. So why don't we
let's talk food.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We haven't talked food in a couple weeks now, so I'm excited for some food.
Since we ate food.
I like food. Food is good. Let's see what we got here.
Father's Day treats.
All right, let's see.
So Epcot, Regal Eagle Smokehouse. The All-American Dad Platter.
I like it.
Yeah.
Dry rub ribs, sliced Texas beef brisket, North Carolina chopped pork butt. That's a lot of meat, man. That's a lot of food right there.
That's some meat sweats right there.
It is for sure, especially in the summertime now too. That's a little rough.
Yeah.
I do like this mustache dessert that they got going on here. The app at Sunshine Seasons, the apple peanut butter tart with cinnamon crumble and chocolate mustache.
It's very refined. Yeah.
What's that?
Like it's very refined looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. It looks fancy. And I just like the flavors there too. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Darth Vader being
they included him. Yeah.
In Disney Springs at Amorette's, the I'm Your Father petite cake, red velvet cake, cream cheese filling, chocolate mousse, and white and dark crisp pearls. And it looks like it has a little speech bubble on the top that says "I am your father" with
it's pretty funny and a lightsaber,
Darth Vader on it. Yeah,
and Darth Vader's lightsaber, right? So that's pretty cool looking. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What about the bacon of doom over at Jock Lindsay's Hanger Bar? Chocolate covered bacon paired with the kernel. What is the kernel?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know what that is either. Screwball peanut butter whiskey or okay. I guess these are drinks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well bacon of doom sounds pretty cool.
That's because Jock Lindsay's Indiana Jones, right?
It is. It's Indiana Jones themed, yeah.
So
right,
Temple of Doom, Bacon of Doom, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I like it.
All right.
Okay, we got fatherly moments over at the food court at All Star. What is this? This is a fudge brownie and caramel with a pretzel and buttercream frame, with a picture in the middle of different fatherly moments from The Incredibles and Princess and the Frog. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's basic. It's basic, but I like it.
Well, I mean, the fact that they actually did like a printed thing on it, you usually don't see that. So
yeah.
I can appreciate it. And the fact that it's at the All-Stars resorts is kind of surprising. But that's good.
They do some cool stuff at some of the All-Stars sometimes. So I'm also looking at this s'mores gourmet stuffed cookie. There's no picture for it, but chocolate chunk cookie loaded with toasted marshmallow cream, topped with crunchy cinnamon graham cracker streusel, and drizzled with dark and white chocolate. I want to see it, but I'm going to eat that.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what it looks like, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What else we got here? Anything else jumping out to you here?
Yeah, Caribbean Beach looks kind of boring. Contemporary
more
Cafe.
There's more s'mores there, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, more s'mores. The Contemporary Resort has a Father's Day bacon brownie.
Ooh.
Okay, don't
get
me wrong.
By the way, these are only available. These are not even available anymore as we're talking about them. I should mention that now that I'm noticing this.
Okay, yeah. Well, again, it's Father's Day. These are available today, so we're going to talk about Father's Day stuff.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they do these like a little bit longer, but like it looks like these are all basically done already, right? So, but still, Still want to talk about them. But go ahead, the bacon brownie.
Yeah, the bacon brownie. I feel like, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I like bacon, but sometimes it feels like they just throw stuff in, or they throw bacon in just because. Like, I didn't think, doesn't look like it needed it, but that's just me.
I like salty and sweet though. Like, so for me, I'm always a fan of like throwing, and I just like bacon in anything. So yeah, so throwing bacon in with chocolate and the caramel, and this sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And this the hole-in-one fudgy brownie, that's some radioactive green.
That is some green, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's got like a little golf ball, and it's supposed to look like a golf green, I guess, right? But
yeah,
it still sounds
a mini golf course.
Yeah, it does. It's so small, right? All right, let's see what else we got here. Mm-hmm. All right, what about this dad's favorite snacks tart? Chocolate tart, coconut macadamia topping, dad's favorite snacks, which is potato chips, Snickers, popcorn, and M&Ms, rum chocolate caramel sauce, and chocolate dip bacon piece on top. That is a lot going on there, but sounds kind of great.
I like... I'm not going to say it's wrong, but I like how they assume dad's favorite snacks.
Yeah, they just make up what his favorite snacks are. Yeah.
Yeah. Potato chips, Snickers, popcorn, and M&Ms. I'm more of a Reese's Pieces guy. I don't really do M&Ms, but close enough.
Oh, wait, that s'mores gourmet stuffed cookie is further down here. Look at that. That looks amazing. I want it still. That next picture.
Where is...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. There's a cheesecake brownie over here that has like a tie on it, meaning like a necktie.
You usually get your dad a tie for Father's Day, I guess is the thing. Yeah. Although, I haven't worn a tie in years, so
yeah, I don't wear a tie anymore either. So especially nowadays, right?
Yeah, no need for it.
All right. Well, how about we just go over then to the just stuff that actually is available that people can eat.
Yeah.
And so go to they had an article here, Best Bites latest foodie treats to try at Disney parks. All right. Okay. Let's see.
Wow, this is all over the place. There's
it is. I like that. It's a culinary tour. Let's see what we got here.
No, this article is very it's not broken up by
No. By location. No.
Yeah.
No, it's a little different than the other one. But California Adventure, they've got a whole bunch of barbecue stuff. Some really good-looking ribs, pork sandwich. Ooh. Man, these look good. Poblano mac and cheese. That sounds good, too, actually.
What is this? Are these pancakes with...
How far away are you over here? Are these waffle fries? Are they waffle fries? Is that what you're looking at?
No, I'm just scrolling down. A picture jumped out at me with... I think it might be banana bread pudding. That's what that is.
Ooh, okay. I like banana bread pudding. That sounds good.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm just looking at these waffle fries that are covered in that are like poutine. They're calling it poutine, I know. But there's a chili cheese poutine and then classic poutine.
Wait, is this the picture where it's the waffle fries cover?
Yeah, covered in a whole bunch of stuff.
It
looks like a hot mess, but
it looks like somebody dropped it on the ground. That is not the best presentation.
Well, chili, I feel like always kind of looks like that, right? Like chili always just kind of looks like a hot mess, right? Like you're just saying it looks messy.
But they just piled it up like it's not in like a container or anything like whatever they use for this picture. It looks like somebody was walking by on Paradise Pier and dropped it.
Yeah, fair.
and somebody snapped a picture of it.
What about the classic poutine that has beef gravy? It says beef gravy, cheese curds, spiced pickled red onions on waffle fries.
I would leave the onions. Everything else sounds good.
Yeah, I get rid of the onions. Although I like these firelight fries. Tangy spiced chicken and spicy ranch sauce on ranch cheese and waffle fries. That sounds pretty great.
Pepper. That's a lot of ranch going on. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is. But I like my ranch. I like a good amount of ranch.
Yeah. And then Harbor Harbor Galley has soup in a sourdough bread bowl. That actually sounds really good.
I'm always a fan of a bread
Yeah.
bowl, man. Always
You
a fan of a bread
can
bowl.
either do clam chowder, steak gumbo, or a plant-based vegetable gumbo.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I'm not a big gumbo person, right? Because there's a lot of stuff in gumbo that I don't really eat. But
Right. But, I mean, you can get right, you don't do seafood, do you?
yeah, I
Or no?
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the clam chowder is good too, but
Again, seafood.
yeah, I know, but I mean,
Yeah.
you got to branch out a little bit.
No, I don't have to. I'm good. There's always something for me to eat at Disney somewhere, whether that be on the kids' menu or not.
Right. Oh, hello. We got Salt and Straw on here. Do they have anything? So this is. Oh, they're. I didn't know they were at Disneyland as well. They have the picnic series. It looks like.
Yeah, they were at
Menu-
Disneyland first, so they were there first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So picnic themed flavors inspired by summertime eats such as watermelon, fried chicken, and cherry pie. But it's all ice cream. So how does you're going to get fried chicken ice cream?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably try it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a big thing going on, for a while on the internet with the Kraft mac and cheese ice cream that was going around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember seeing about that? I mean, like, there's some
Yeah.
weird ice cream flavors that people can make, into good things. But I mean, I would definitely try watermelon. I would definitely try the fried chicken and the cherry pie. I love cherry pie.
Yeah, I mean, cherry pie is an easy one. The fried chicken is where I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's not
Yeah.
actual pieces of fried chicken in it, but I don't know.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, they do weird stuff over there, right? But
Yeah.
I really like Salt and Straw, and I would love to. I wish I lived locally because I would be one of those things that I'd want to go and try, like
Mhm.
their new flavors all the time,
Right. Well,
So
maybe they'll expand one day.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Just scrolling. All right, so let's see here. We got so we were just talking about Olivia's the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and so now they're going to have their brunch service every day of the week, which it was limited before, but now it's going to be every day. And so the fried chicken that you were talking about, they've got that, and then banana bread pudding they're going to have. So that sounds good, like you were talking about before. I'm just looking at these cupcakes over here too at All Star.
Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, yeah. With the little guitars and stuff on them. Is that
Yeah,
the
there's
ones you're
little
looking at?
guitars.
Yeah.
I was looking at the popcorn and pretzel one. I mean, these seem like very basic cupcakes, right? These are very basic
Yeah.
cupcakes. Yeah. That's
Nothing there really stands out to me. And yeah, actually, yeah, I think we're pretty much at the end of the list.
Yeah, we're
now.
done with food. We're done with food.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this Disney stuff.
Disneyland, right?
Yeah, Disneyland.
All right.
Yeah, proper Disney.
Proper. Wow, you're gonna make some people mad. All right. So Disneyland has announced what's coming back for the fall, meaning the Halloween time, right? Stuff that's coming back for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead. You can.
I'm actually so. Yeah, they're talking about Halloween time at Disneyland Park. A lot of the stuff that's happened previously. So Haunted Mansion is getting its overhaul that it gets every year around this time. Which I don't know. I'm kind of over it. I wish they would stop doing it, but that's just me. They have the from September 2nd to October 31st. There is the Halloween Screams projection show going on. And hold on. Wow, this list is a lot longer than I thought. Yeah. So, and then, yeah, California Adventure has its own thing going on. So there is Cars Land will have its overhaul done, which I actually haven't seen this yet. So,
I've seen pictures. It looks cool.
Yeah. I've seen the Christmas stuff. I haven't seen the Halloween. So, yeah, it's the weird thing is that they they don't have, or it's not like Disney or like Magic Kingdom where they have like the Boo-to-You parade and stuff. Like it's a lot of this stuff is just the new decorations and stuff like that, but there doesn't seem to be a lot going on.
Yeah.
Which, it's kind of looking at them going, this isn't as exciting as I thought it was.
I think it's interesting that they're doing some like stuff to Guardians of the Galaxy, to the Mission Breakout ride, and doing some things within Avengers Campus.
Right.
Some projections and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, further down, Oogie Boogie Bash starts September 6th. Okay, so all right, so they are bringing that back. So that's as close to the not so scary Halloween party as they get. Yeah. Well, and then they're also doing this Coco thing too, right? So the musical celebration of Coco, which is like a street performance of some of the music and stuff like that, which seems pretty cool too. Yeah, because that
Dia
all
de los Muertos,
that all lines up with November 1st.
Yep.
For Day of the Dead and all that.
Well, it's September 2nd to November 2nd is when that's going on. So because Day of the Dead's November 1st, right? Is it? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, you're probably right. I don't want to confirm because I don't know. But Boo Bash, it's not Boo Bash. Oogie Boogie Bash is coming back, right? So 23 nights that they're doing that. It seems like they're bringing all this stuff back that they had before, right?
Yeah. Which I guess it's weird because like we already knew about this stuff in Florida. Yeah. I forgot that Disneyland usually they would announce this stuff about the same time. It seems like they were doing it a little bit late, but they also don't have the same window on this stuff that they do in Florida. Like it's not like August to October. It's beginning of September to, and then they, they cut it off right at the end or right at Halloween, which is fair.
Yep. Yeah, totally true. Yeah. So, I mean, that's all I have to say. I don't know if you have anything else with the Disneyland stuff, but I think you're more, you know more than I do. So,
yeah, I realized I need to get back there again. We've been talking about planning another trip there because it has been a couple of years, and I need to see what's changed myself because it has been so long.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting some of the stuff they're doing, and I mean I'm going to get out there eventually. It's just a matter of when, But yeah, I mean it's a short episode for us. I'm surprised.
I think it's fine. It is Father's Day, and we are allowed to go enjoy our Father's Day. So
That's true.
Maybe we should call it here, and then
let's wrap it up. Yeah.
All right.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, so as usual, if you guys want to get a hold of us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. You can send us questions, share trip reports with us. We love hearing that. And if you're on Facebook, you can follow us as Welcome Home Podcast or check out our Facebook group, Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. Same thing there. We have lots of people that reach out to us on Facebook. And if you join the waitlist group, there's lots of great conversation in there. People share their own experiences. And all around, I think, it's pretty great group with minimal drama. So consider checking us out. You can also follow us on YouTube and Instagram. YouTube is Welcome Home Podcast. Instagram is Welcome Home Pics for whenever we are at the parks. You'll see those Instagram posts, and you can follow YouTube for when we do live streams. And if you want to support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out some of the swag we have there. There's cups and shirts and all kinds of good stuff. And if you would rather support us through Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod and check out the different levels of Patreon support we have. Those also have exclusive merchandise to them, and it's a logo that you can only get on Patreon. And also, if you support us through Patreon, it gets you access to the Discord server, which is another way that we talk with our fans on a pretty regular basis. Last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, we would appreciate you leaving us a rating at the very least. 5 stars would definitely be preferred. Yes. But if not, we do appreciate feedback. We do appreciate comments, as long as it's not, we've heard all the same things about like Damon has to leave from time to time. We know that that's not constructive at this point, but we do love hearing other comments about the show because, we do like seeing that feedback.
Yeah, we got a couple good reviews recently. Actually, we've gotten a lot of reviews recently. So, but thank you to a couple of them. First of all, I just want to call out Joey Diamond Hands, which is a great name. I don't know why it's a great name. It's just funny. But he says, Tim, Ramen, and Tyler do a great job of informing the casual Disney fan and DVC fan. Relaxed setting, honest opinions, and the occasional rant about 1-star reviews make this podcast a must listen. So thank you, Joey Diamond Hands, for
Tim, Ramen, and Tyler. I like that.
Seriously, it's really funny. We have some really funny listeners, and I really enjoy reading the reviews, especially when they're 5-star. When they're 1-star reviews, I don't enjoy reading them, but when they're 5-star ones, I definitely do enjoy them. So,
of course,
thank you. So if you haven't reviewed us yet, please go and do that. Okay, so we would really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find our podcast on Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcast. My God. All right, let's try that again. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any podcast app out there. You can find us. Just search for Welcome Home. Look for the one that's Disney DVC. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions expressed on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC representative, a Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you to our sponsors, Bonaire Financial, for sponsoring this episode, and of course, World of DVC for continuing to sponsor the show. We really appreciate their support. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.